Hey friends, welcome back. It is Wednesday evening in my world. I'm filming Thursday's video now because I have a long day of homeschool stuff tomorrow. So I'm filming a video tonight while I am crocheting on a scarf. This is one of two scarves for my aunts, and I am using Big Twist Party in, this is what I'm using, and this is, what is this color? Yeah, jelly beans. And as y'all know, it is 100% acrylic, and they are 240 yards, and it is a medium 4. So that is what I'm doing. I tried to work on this on the way to church tonight. Well, guess what? It gets darker a lot earlier now. I got a few rows in and then it got so dark my eyes were starting to hurt. I was like straining to see the stitches and I was just like, yeah. That's okay though. I made some progress and some is better than none, right? So I want to cover a topic that I talked about in Wednesday's video about Christmas. How I said that I feel it is too commercialized. And I was kind of vague about that. I'm not saying Christmas is a bad thing, the way it's, you know, celebrated however people celebrate it. That's fine and everything. I mean, I love to decorate. I love the lights. I love the displays, the creative displays that people are putting up. I saw some really amazing ones tonight on the way to church. That's all okay with me. You know, the decorating, you know, if you want to give gifts, that's fine too. I mean, I give gifts throughout the year to people, so that's okay. What I am talking about when it comes to saying that it's too commercialized, and I get it, this is where these businesses and companies have to get their money, is, you know, they put all this stuff out there for Christmas, like, oh, buy your spouse a new car, or that's what I'm talking about. Can we just go back to the days, you know, where you get the old, the Sears catalog, the Wish catalog, and, you know, the really thick catalog, and you sit down and you know, can we go back to those days? Those were fun. Those were, you didn't feel the pressure like you do today. You know, does that make any sense? My husband and I were having a talk on the way to church today about how, you know, and I felt it very fitting to have this conversation because here we are, it is almost the end of the November 13th. It's almost November 14th because it is just about 11:30 here on the 13th. But I was telling him that one thing I have done over the course of this year was I have stepped back out of people's lives that I thought were friends. But then it's like when I stopped constantly give for not a whole lot, you know, it's not about getting something in return. It was just, I felt used by all these people. And so over the course of this year, I have chosen to still remain a contact for them on social media. But as far as, you know, yeah, let's get together for coffee or tea, or, you know, text message or go visit, I have stepped back out of many people's lives over the course of this year, and I thought it was going to be a lot harder than it has been. And that's just kind of how I feel about Christmas. You know, you've got to draw that line for yourself. Don't let yourself get wrapped up in all the the hoopla and the glitz and the glamour and everything that the stores give you, you know? I don't know. I hope I'm making sense in some way on this, but I don't know. It's just, I feel like it's just, I don't know. I know what I'm trying to say, but it's not coming out. You know, it's one of those things. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being crazy. Hopefully I'm not the only one that feels like that, though. You know, I always used to feel like when my kids were younger, we used to have to give a certain amount, or we weren't keeping up with the Joneses, as it's called. Like, oh my gosh, you only gave your kids a homemade blanket, for example. How dare you? You know, that's kind of how it is out here where we live with the way people are. And that's why I've had to step back out of a lot of people's lives, because it's just, that is not who I am. That is not who I was raised as, you know? It's just becoming too toxic. And I don't need all that in my life. I'm just a few years away from 50, and sad that it's taken me this long to wake up, but yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, we're still gonna enjoy the holidays. I know I said earlier, I don't even know if I'm gonna put a tree or any much more decorations up, but physically for me, it's a lot. I would have to unpack the whole front of my garage just to get into the shelves where there are some ornaments. And then all the rest of my stuff is in the garage that we park our vehicle in. And that stuff's all up on a shelf, and I physically just cannot do it. And I don't know if I want to deal with, you know, putting it all up and then taking it all back down within a month. If I can find my village pieces, I'll at least put my village up. But as far as my tree and the main ornaments, I don't know. I don't know right now. I know a lot can change between now and then, but I think if we just at least have a little bit up and the lights outside, everybody will be happy. You know, because everybody's got crazy busy schedules around here, so I don't know. And then Thanksgiving's coming up very shortly here, and I was supposed to go to the SoCal Fiber Fest, which was the weekend after Thanksgiving. That has been taken out of the equation now because my husband's work schedule is changed, and he may not even be here, and I don't want to do that on my own. So I don't want to do it on my own with a 5-year-old. It would be a lot. The drive would be a lot. Just from where I live to there on a good day is roughly 2 to 2.5 hours. So I think for this year I'm gonna scratch that idea, and I think next year I'm gonna look into going. There's a big one that I was told about. Hooked on Wishing Crochet, I think is her channel. Amy told me about one. She put it in a comment that there was one, a big one up Northern California around the first part of October. So I may look into going to that next year. But I think starting in 2025, I'm going to start looking for more local shops, which in my area there's really nothing, even into Los Angeles. I may have to drive north. There is one that I would love to go check out, but it's clear up in Lake Tahoe area. It's called Jimmy Bean's Wool Company or something like that. But that's That's like a weekend trip for me, because that's a haul. So I don't know. I've got some plans for the new year for this Yarny channel. I'll just have to see what is going to be the best way to execute those plans. And then if all works out towards summertime, I will be able to visit some LYS stores out of state that are local to the areas that we are looking at traveling to. So we'll see. We will see. So many plans. Not enough time in the day. Just like crochet projects, right? So yeah, hopefully that makes a little bit more sense though about what I'm talking about with Christmas being commercialized. You know, it needs to be fun. Memories, you know. I don't know if I ever told the story. Growing up, my grandmother she would start like, I want to say December 1st. And we used to have those big, like, aluminum or metal or whatever they were, the Dutch ovens, the blue pans with the big dome lids. We used to have tons of those. And she would bake all different kinds of cookies. Never once used a recipe. All her recipes were in her head, so she took them to the grave with her. And I mean, she made all kinds of cookies. One of my favorites that she used to make was like this buttery cookie with walnuts and maraschino cherries, and they were like a little ball that would just sit in your hand. And I've been given recipes that are close to it, but I don't think anything's gonna ever compare, ever. But she would bake these cookies. You're gonna laugh at this, how she would store them. She'd put them in the Dutch ovens or the storage containers or whatever, and she would put like bread or something like that with them, and store them in our attic. I kid you not, by Christmas they were not moldy. They were still just as fresh as the day she baked them. Yeah. I used to perch myself at the kitchen table and watch her just create her magic. Yeah, that's what Christmas is all about. You know, it's about making memories and having fun and not having to keep up with the Joneses, basically. No offense if your last name is that. That's just the term, you know, that's going around. Maybe we should say keeping up with the neighbors. Yeah. I'm telling you, it's just crazy. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out. I always take the kids to look at Christmas lights this year, or every year, and we always used to go up. Unfortunately, the area that was burned was our main area to go look at lights, and it's just a lot. Coming down the grade tonight from church and looking out all that should have been lit up, and it's dark. They have the fire at 76% containment, which is wonderful in just a week. But over 200 structures have been lost. Many crops have been lost. Berries, avocados. Avocados were a big one. There was something else too besides the avocados and berries. Citrus. Citrus was the other one. But the beautiful thing is, you know, despite all the devastation, a lot of people are looking forward and they have hope for rebuilding. A lot of them are clearing their land already. And they want to rebuild. So, yeah, so back to the whole Christmas lights thing. You know, we need to figure out what we're going to do this year. I suggested maybe we drive down to where our church is, because there's already a lot of really nice displays set up. So, I don't know. See, it's all about making the memories, you know? So anyways, friends, so tell me in the comments down below, are you working on Christmas projects, Christmas presents? What are you working on? Doesn't have to necessarily be crochet. You can be making any kind of Christmas gift, even if it's just a homemade card. Homemade cards are the best. I used to make my own Christmas cards, and then I haven't had time lately. The last few years of my life has been very, very busy for the good. So that is okay. I've been buying my cards the last couple of years. I know the time will come where I can make my cards again. And I know that time's coming, and maybe next year. Who knows? Who knows? But I will tell you, now that, you know, we're coming up on the end of the year, December's my birthday month, my son's birthday month, we are planning on a trip to Knott's Berry Farm on my birthday. I'm just praying it all works out, because that's about the time our passes expire. Our passes actually expire, I think, on the 31st of December. So I would love to go one more time. All the renovations are done there. Camp Snoopy's been remodeled. They added new rides. They took down the stupid Ferris wheel that we got stuck on, and it just kept going around and around and around and around. True story, that happened. I still go on the mine ride, even though we got stuck in the mine ride on an incline. Yep, that was fun. So, yeah, that's what we're planning for my birthday. I'm excited about that, because there's also a place down there by Knott's Berry Farm called Porto's, and it's a Cuban bakery. They have got some amazing food. Amazing food. So, yeah, if all works out with everybody's schedule, that is what we're going to do for the day. So, yeah, I'm excited. I am really excited about that. So, yeah. Anyways, friends. I know I said I would show you yarn in this video, but that's kind of out there in the living room, and I'm in my desk area because everybody's asleep. Maybe I'll make a separate video later on in the day. Show you my yarn. It'll just be a short video. We'll see. Or I can save it for Friday. Yeah, I might do that too. We will see. My priority tomorrow is going to be the homeschool. I have a lot of stuff to do on the computer. I think I mentioned that in last week's videos. I have a lot of stuff on the computer to do, and just paperwork, administrative stuff, you know. Kind of trying to stay ahead of the ball game before all the holiday breaks kick in, because we're coming up on Thanksgiving break is in, well, actually it's less than 10 days. Our Thanksgiving break starts on the 22nd. We are off for an entire week, and then we go back for a couple of weeks, and then we are off and then our winter break starts on December 20th and goes till January 3rd. And of course that's not counting the weekends in there too, so you got some extra days when you add the Saturday and Sunday in there. So this yarn is splitty. But alright, friends, I'm gonna let you go. Yeah, I don't know if I'll make another video for Thursday. I think this might be it, just like I said, so I can focus on the things here. I will be back Friday with something though. So just know I love you, God loves you, be kind to one another, and I will see you on Friday for something. I don't know what, something.